I think actions like this are probably useful in inverse proportion to how much it looks like self-publicity to the person carrying the action out, which in this case is quite a lot.
I cannot imagine something more narrow-minded than seeing here self-publicity. Come on, the stage is open for everyone who has the courage to do something. Do it better, then we talk again.
My point is that individual action like yours is very easy to be absorbed and neutralized as a self-publicity exercise.
Up to now, I didn't encounter any absorption except from you.
Individual political action is inherently reactionary.
There were some individuals who tried to kill Hitler.
And here's Goodwin's law. Is it the politicizing of art or an aestheticizing of politics?
I wouldn't accept the choice. Both options are clearly working in cahoots here, and it's always casuistry which determines whether one wins out. But then, this win is often just a consolation prize to the critics and celebrants, while the efficiency of an action happens along another line of flight. On some level, remarkable action should have something irrefutable about it, something beyond taste, outside any clear jurisdiction.
Fascinating discussion, but it's painful and annoying to see. Critic and counter-critic descending on the Schützlingen. How viciously one should and can be critical. But for me, the promotional aspect here is only a byproduct of the situation, not its root. I see the 10 theses on Feuerbach here as outweighing everything else.
So easy to sit on the sidelines and criticizing with not making the own hands dirty, and probably thinking that the private not doing is even political. I'm working as a composer and performer like thousands of other artists are doing, and I'm successful enough that I definitely don't need any extra self-promotion. On the opposite, obviously, I'm risking quite a lot with actions like this. The only thing coming to your mind is now blaming me. That's pure egoism.
You have certainly managed to dispel any doubts about your true motives. What maybe is a little bit new is the nihilistic aspect of this one.
This is becoming embarrassing. I suggest it to stop now if you don't want to give the impression that this is entirely about your dislike, disapproval of a colleague. I think we are corrupted one way or another, and I'd rather see someone get his hands dirty for actions like this than the apathetic attitude of others that just criticize from a comfortable distance without taking any form of action. I do think that the goal should always first be to precipitate about robust ambivalence than the changing of minds.
You really have got it, but it's just so damn analytical.
This only starts to make sense when you can make it together with, let's say, the people, the immigrant illegal workers, the Greek economy, or the people in the Niger Delta who have to fish and farm and crude oil. Dedicating your Neue Atonal Symphony to the victims of the latest edition of capitalist evil is definitely not the way. But I'm also very, very suspicious about the promotional aspect of over-identification strategies. The irony of irony being that it tends to repeat what it is supposedly criticizing, with all of us smirking with our own insight into our complicity.
Is it likely to change the opinion of anyone who was not already on your side?
The degree of success of political actions can almost never be proved, but that shouldn't detain anyone when there are things to do. Things which don't happen are no evidence.
That assumes that all such means will have some positive impact. What if the impact was negative? What if, and I'm only speaking hypothetically here, it was interpreted by others as a typical case of people getting angry when, and only when, their own vested interests come under question. The problem now with institutionalization of collective protest is that it somehow asserts the status quo, and the notion that people have a right to protest is somehow a reminder or a validation that we live in a great democratic and free society which allows and celebrates freedom of speech. The problem, however, is that collective protest has become ineffective as a strategy because it can be easily ignored by those in power. Readers can judge for themselves whether criticism levied in the threat descend into baseless ad hominem attacks, or whether they are justifiable critics of action supported by logic, reason, and facts.
There are certainly issues that need more action, but I guess everyone acts at that point that touches him personally, mostly. We can change nothing about that. In my eyes, if such small individual action can be seen as self-promotion, then the whole new music scene is just miserable. Miserable! If no one is allowed to do something which is just a little bit praised!
Nothing serves the powers against whom he acts better than this kind of action. If I were in charge of some exploiting company and afraid of political protest movements, I'd hire you to protest against it.
One thing that this sometimes heated discussion has brought up is that it seems to be difficult for some composers to separate criticisms of their actions from criticisms of themselves. Therefore, diet pills might be an excellent add-on for a weight loss pill ingredient. This natural plant compound is a safe and effective way of losing weight.
Try it on your own. Doing this performance as good as I do in front of all these people in the hall and hundreds of thousands in front of radio, you'll see you need a lot of practicing. And it took me a lot of time for it. And I'm a poor artist living in a dark 33 square meter apartment in Berlin, teaching music theory to survive. Your revelations become even more ashaming. In your opinion, all labor unions should work without payment. Now your real political attitude comes up.
I hope you really don't want to get in the contest of putting on the poor mouth. Rest assured that I'm significantly more penurious than you are, and have been so for many more years. This preaching to the choir may create good feelings among friends and colleagues, but it doesn't move the actors who need to be moved. An action directed to an audience of sports fans or news reporters or radio administrators would have been more to the point. This is a criticism of your allies, not your opponents, and the issues here are not limited to the local situation. It is a bit perverse of musicians supposedly interested in innovation to invest so much in received structures. However well they appear to have treated us in the past. Almost every institutionalized and from above commanded protest, and especially from a minority in between the social and cultural political system like contemporary music scene, done, performed by a single artist who is first commissioned for this on a festival of sympathizants of contemporary music. This has no lasting effect to change things. Only collective, spontaneous protest of many, many composers and musicians would be effective and might have the chance and the power to change things. Art and music must stay independent from any institutionalized and from above commanded or commissioned, even so-called agents.
Sorry, but I would like to call this naive. In this view, apart from very, very rare cases, action would never happen. Isn't just the opposite true, that every revolution has very clever people and PR agencies behind them that foster and direct the action?
Even action, it seems, is subject of this capitalistic efficiency.
I agree to all these banal, well-known facts. I disagree to your silly interpretations of them. Fortunately, you will soon do everything better.
I'm very grateful for his action, even though it's not my cup of tea. Regardless of its symbolic power or its ingenuity, which I judge as poor. And yes, one can criticize that. Isn't that the fate of all forms of political art? Whereby the message cannot be considered regardless of the medium? It obviously made us all think about forms of collective action and their utmost urgencies in today's society. In my modest view, a lot in that discussion had definitely to do with different concepts about action culture, but there was also a lot of personal jealousies and vanities involved.
When he makes it to the States, he would be like Conrad.